Hey guys, it's Dana and it's time to talk about money. And in this video, we're going to talk about a no spend year. So let's get to it. Okay, so maybe you're like, what? Not a whole year. We're in the middle of a no spend January. Many of us are. Maybe you've seen me posting every single day. I created all these images with little cartoon piggy banks to help motivate myself and you. And I've been posting them every day here on YouTube and also on Instagram. So if you've been following along, it's been kind of fun. And I'm interested to hear at the end which image is your favorite. All right, but it's got me thinking, let's just keep going for the whole year as far as no spend goes. And if you're like, what is that? What the heck? How am I not going to spend any money for a whole year? Well, you can also do a low spend year if no spend sounds too overwhelming for you and you just want to cut back on expenses, then you can do that. You can do what's called a low spend year where you cut back on eating out, you cut back on subscription services, and just any kind of extra spending. You obviously still have to pay for your mortgage or for your rent and for food and for, let's be honest, you've got, your sister's birthday party. You're going to have to buy her a gift, right? So it's not that you don't spend any money for a whole year. It's that you cut back. So you can do, like I said, a low spend year. It's a commitment to try to spend less. But if you're doing a no spend as opposed to low spend, then you are really all in. You're fully committing to saying we are not spending any money on anything extra. We're not stopping anywhere for coffees or for hoagies or for whatever it is that's your thing. Burritos, tacos, cookies, whatever it is that you like to stop and buy. You're like, all right, for this year, we are going to commit to not doing that. It's going to be bare bones. We're just going to pay for our necessities, pay for our bills, and try to work on saving or paying off debt. And we're going to do that for an entire year. And, maybe you're going to make some mistakes. There's going to possibly be some mistakes along the way. Maybe, temptation is too great one day and you just can't seem to resist. And so you just have to get that soft pretzel. So then you're like, I need this soft pretzel. I really want to buy it. It's an impulse buy, but I'm buying it. So, oh, well, then the next day you can reset, be like, all right, I'm getting back on the wagon. It's not like if you make a mistake during the year, you're just going to forget the whole thing and throw it out the window. No, you can still keep doing it. But you are trying in the beginning here to put your best foot forward and commit to saying, we're not going to buy that soft pretzel. Maybe you're like, what? Soft pretzel? What the heck? We eat a lot of soft pretzels. So how are you going to plan for your no spend or low spend? Right off the bat at the top, you have to create, or you should create, or I recommend creating. I hate saying have or should. I'm sorry. Of course, I hope when you're watching these videos of mine, I'm not shoulding or not trying to should anybody. Obviously, everybody has to make the best decision for themselves, what they think is best. And, I'm all for that, of course. So I recommend setting a budget, and that basically is your plan. You need to, again, write things out, figure out what you're going to need to spend money on, how much money you're going to be making, so that you know where your money is going to be going. It's extremely important. I'm sorry, I always talk about it, but you have to have some kind of plan written down in a spreadsheet or on paper or wherever, not just in your head, to know where your money is going and what your plan is. And that includes special occasions. So like we talked about earlier, if you have a birthday coming up, you're going to have to buy a gift. That can be in your plan, in your budget for the year. You're going to have to need a certain amount of money to purchase gifts. Maybe you can stick that in a separate sinking fund. We're doing a sinking fund video soon. So maybe you can stick that in that separate fund so that way you can go ahead and have it set there ready to go when it's time to buy the gift. And it's just part of the budget. So you don't have to feel like you're cheating on your no spend or low spend year. The money is sitting there in that separate account or earmarked in your current account, your main account, for that particular item. So then you can spend it when the time comes and it's okay. No guilt, no problems. You're not cheating. You got it. You're ready to keep rocking and rolling. And then, of course, you have to know, what is it that you're trying to achieve here with this no spend year or low spend year? What kind of milestone are you hoping to hit or goal? Are you hoping to save a certain dollar amount or to pay off a certain dollar amount? You have to have a milestone, a goalpost, something that you're working towards, so that way you can, feel motivated and you can be like, we're doing this thing so that we can get that debt paid off, so that we can get our emergency fund beefed up, so that we can get our house paid off, whatever it is, right? You need to know what the goal is and be very clear about it. Now, one of the most important things with this no spend year is you have to start to get creative because you're going to be cutting things out of your life. We were talking about gifts earlier. Maybe instead of purchasing a gift for your sister, we'll just go with that example, then you could make a gift. Like maybe there's some kind of item that you crochet. Maybe you can learn how to crochet. Yarn's pretty inexpensive and so are the hooks. Maybe you can start watching YouTube videos, how to crochet, and you can start making everybody you know little cute, crocheted, I don't know, blankets or scarves or hats or stuffed animals. Like you can start, trying to figure out some creative ways, creative gifts that you can give people that are not that expensive. Free entertainment. There's tons of free entertainment. I mean, come on, like you are watching YouTube and there's so much stuff on YouTube. Like I've said before, I only watch YouTube. I don't watch movies. I don't even want to go to the movie theaters. I think they're gross, dirty, disgusting. There's mice jumping around in the movie theaters. Seriously. And I don't want to go there. So I prefer to just, find my entertainment, look up stuff. You can find like a whole bunch of like full length shows on YouTube. My daughter was watching an entire like hour long, rant dissertation video on TradWise, which I found so interesting. And I just couldn't stop watching it with her. And that was way better than any movie or anything else that I would pay for in a streaming service. So anyway, so there is free forms of entertainment at your library. They do show movies at the library. They have different activities through our library. You can get the Libby app and audiobooks, tons of audiobooks that you can read on your phone, or almost everybody has a phone. You can get books out that way through the library. Anyway, there's just an endless opportunity, honestly, of free activities if you just look for them. Tracking your progress is important. You have to, or I suggest, try to stop saying have like a chart or some way a fun way to track the progress that you're making as far as either the debt you're paying off via doing this no spend challenge or low spend challenge, or you have some kind of thing you do. I mean, what we did as a family when we were paying off our debt is we had these cards all strung up and each card had $1,000 written on it. Every time we paid off $1,000, especially towards the end, we'd take the card down and the kids would rip it up and throw it on the ground and stomp on it. We'd all stomp on it and say, we're never borrowing money again. And it was like a ritual. And like, so, but it was celebratory. And it was like, yes, we've paid off another $1,000. So maybe for you, we've saved another $1,000. And you can do some kind of, fill in a chart. And I have a whole blog post on my blog of all different ways you can create tracking mechanisms. So if you want to check that out, you can. I'll link it in the description. Now, maybe you're doing your no spend year to build up your emergency fund. And I think that is incredibly important to have your emergency fund in place. If you don't have an emergency fund, then that's when you end up back into debt, or everything seems to be a crisis all the time when you don't have money. Any little thing that breaks, it's a crisis. Any last minute thing you have to pay for your kids. Just the other day, my husband stepped on my son's glasses and they broke. So we needed to rush out over the weekend and purchase whatever pair of glasses we could find for him because he needs to see. So if you don't have some kind of emergency fund in place, then life gets harder. It's just easier when you do. So if you do have an emergency fund in place, then probably your no spend is going to go smoother. But during this no spend, maybe your goal is working towards building that up. And I think that's an excellent goal to have. Now, you absolutely can do this. Maybe you're feeling like I can't go a whole year without like spending extra money. Well, I would say just try it, right? Just give it a try, because sometimes things seem insurmountable in the beginning, and then once we actually start doing it, it's like, oh, okay, I'm doing this thing. Like how I didn't think I'd be able to, but I can. And you just have to, as I say, put your foot on the path and just begin walking forward. And then as you go along, you're going to learn things, you're going to get better at it. But if this seems too overwhelming and you would like to watch my video talking about just a no spend month, I'll go ahead and I'll link it up here. And if you do, I'll see you there. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.